I found out I was pregnant halfway through my senior year of high school, so as you can imagine, I was a little bit nervous.
The Mentor 101 helped a lot. So I had a lot of questions.
What the center means to me personally is a place where I can, or we can, serve people who are looking for help in a non-judgmental way. At the Pregnancy Center, we assist those who are facing unplanned pregnancies or difficult pregnancies. What young women need most when they're facing an unplanned pregnancy is just a friend, someone who's going to listen and not condemn them for the choices that they've made or condemn them for being in the position they are. It's just someone to say, it's going to be all right, you know.
I hate to say it, it was an uh-oh moment. It was definitely an uh-oh moment. It was, uh-oh, what am I going to tell my parents? My only thought was trying to figure out how to talk to my parents and what their reaction was going to be.
Most of the time they're scared, a little unsure of what their options are, or just needing someone to say it's okay, you know, that it's going to be all right.
What am I going to do? How's school going to work? Am I going to have to drop out? Am I going to have to postpone college? What am I going to do about a job? And, yeah, that first 5 minutes, you're freaking out. But there are people there to support and help, and it just gets better.
We're not just counselors. We strive to be your friend and walk you through all the drama that can happen around you without judging you and just telling you it's going to be okay.
Well, when I found out I was going to be a father, I looked up information and I went to the parenting center here in town and got the pamphlets, the books, and watched the videos and answered a bunch of questions and asked a bunch of questions.
A lot of times it's kind of like an identity crisis for a guy sometimes, just realizing that now I'm responsible for another human being, and what does that look like, and how am I financially going to be able to support the child?
Being a father is not lining up for your execution, it's taking the next step and being a grown up.
When someone calls the center, we realized how difficult that decision was to even pick up the phone or to text or to call us. And knowing that the person on the other end is not going to be judging you or making you feel bad about having to come in and take a pregnancy test. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. It happens.
Well, I was nervous at first, a little bit, but then when I meet them, they're really nice. I don't know what to tell them, but when I get there, they just said, "Come in, and what's your name? Have you been here before?" And then what do you need? And they told me about the program and what do I need to do and all that stuff. So I feel better after that.
When a gal thinks that she might be pregnant and gives the center a call, the first thing we would do is just ask her why she thinks she might be expecting, and we would set up an appointment with her for one-on-one counseling. They're going to be greeted by office support staff who will make them feel comfortable, and then a trained counselor will meet with them and be able to sit down with them and talk one-on-one as a friend.
When I get there, she's like very kind, and she sits down for a couple minutes and we talk, and she always asks like how you feel, or you have any problems, or you need something.
Yes, when I first walked in the room, I felt like I was walking into a baby clothing office instead of an actual teaching office. I asked questions, but I also played with the toys, so I was distracted by the baby apparel and toys. They helped calm the mood.
Sometimes when a client comes in, there's a lot of emotions and a lot of different feelings that they're facing, and sometimes it's good if they can just come in and be able to vent those in order to figure out exactly how they feel about it. Sometimes we right away are just afraid and we can't make a decision clearly when we're upset.
I think the word safe place kind of is what I'm going for, or what they sort of gave me. When I first was there, when I first visited, she wanted me to know that I could talk about anything. I could tell her anything We could discuss anything. It didn't matter what I was worried about. No question was stupid. No question was going to get me laughed at. And they were just there to help.
Most of the people we serve are people who are just looking for help. They're not necessarily looking for a handout, they're looking for answers. Sometimes they're young people who are scared, who are facing a big decision that's going to change the rest of their life. Sometimes we see men who are going to be a father for the first time and they just don't have the the background from which to draw to become the father that they want to be. Sometimes we see families who are facing like their fourth or fifth pregnancy and just don't know how they're going to be financially able to support that new baby. And so what we do is we come alongside them and give them their options and resources to make things a little easier to make those decisions.
I had a lot of questions, you feel stupid asking them because you're like, parents just know this stuff, right?
Not everyone is born knowing how to parent their child, and so we come alongside them and we have classes that we call Earn While You Learn classes. And with those classes, it teaches them how to use different skills to be able to parent their children.
She explained to me that by watching different educational videos, I got to pick which ones I wanted to watch. It earned me points, and then points could help me to get things like diapers and other things I might need for the baby.
And they helped me. They gave me a car seat, and they helped me with like used clothes. I have to watch a video like to make points so I can get like diapers but it's really good because you get points and you can get stuffs, and plus you learn like from the videos depending what kind of video you're watching. So it's really good.
Our Earn While You Learn program would include things like what to expect at each level of pregnancy, your first trimester, second trimester, third trimester. After the baby's born, we have classes on so many different things. There's like parenting classes, there's toddler classes, there's life skills classes, like how do you buy a car, how do you budget, how do you deal with a fussy baby. It's not a handout, but a hand up. Basically, each class that they take is individualized towards them, and each class would earn them points, which they can then use to purchase the things that they need. For example, we have diapers and car seats and strollers and all the big furniture that you can imagine, and then some. And we have baby clothes, all kinds of things.
They help me like saving money. Diapers are expensive, and like clothes, even at the garage sales, you have to pay like $1 for each piece of clothes, and pregnancy center is like free. So it's really helpful.
The whole point of it was, though, that if I wanted to get that kind of help, they wanted to help educate me at the same time on what I had to look forward to, as opposed to, here's some diapers, good luck.
We have an Earn While You Learn also for the dads. We call it the Daddy Mentorship Program. And in that, too, they earn points. Most of the time, guys aren't really that often going to come up and say, I need help. But they come up with their significant other. And then they say that, well, I don't really know what I'm doing. And so we can set them up with another guy who's been there and can help walk them through that whole situation.
I felt like it was an extra reward because it's extra points when the father participates and not just sending the mother to the class to learn on her own. So I felt that as the father, I was also being appreciated as being there as a participant.
Our mentorship program talks him through budgeting and finding a car, finding an apartment, what it means to just step up a little bit and change a diaper, even when it's very uncomfortable for him, or being able to supply them with points that they can use to purchase diapers in our baby store and come home bringing the diapers. It's an exciting time to see them grow into that.
Yep, the daddy pages and the men's mentorship helped a lot because a lot of the questions were just centered on how the mother reacts to the child, where when the questions are with the father and the father's adjustment with the child and what the father does in the role, it helped out a lot to kind of make the person, and like myself as being the father, see what I can do when the questions are being asked to me and not just being referred to me.
I feel that Options for Women is very important to the community because we offer something that no one else does. We're basically a resource center. We are kind of a one-stop shop as far as like finding referrals for things that they need in the community, like ECFE, or even finding a daycare that works for them, or a doctor.
In this kind of community, I think it's very important. I know so many girls, even in the last year, that if they hadn't had the center to go to, they didn't have parents that could answer their questions, because they had great parents, don't get me wrong. Their parents were doing the best they could, but their parents couldn't be everything and do everything for them. You know, they had their own lives that they were trying to live at the same time.
Sometimes some of the services we provide is when a client comes in and they just need help filling out paperwork for another resource in the community, and we're able to sit down with them to help them fill out the forms and get things rolling, whether that's insurance or financial assistance or housing assistance. It means a lot to somebody if you can just sit down with them one-on-one and work those things out. Every phone call, every pregnancy test, every visit to the center is completely 100% confidential. We do all of our pregnancy tests in-house. We don't send you out anywhere else to get it done. And you would know by the end of your appointment whether you are or are not expecting. After the pregnancy test, we usually discuss what the next options are. If the test is positive, we'll talk about what they can expect, what choices they have, what their options are, and how we can help them. A lot of times, finances are a big part of whether a mom chooses to place a child up for adoption or to keep the child herself. And it's funny how many times just knowing that they have someone who can help them purchase diapers makes a difference in their life, or helping them to find that apartment that feels safer to them than where they're at. It makes a huge difference.
By saving money, like instead of spending for the diapers, we can use that money to buy something else.
We were awarded a Positive Alternatives grant, which has enabled us to be able to expand our Earn While You Learn program. We're actually finally able to offer our classes in Spanish, and so we're able to cater to some of their needs as well. Before the Positive Alternatives grant funding towards the Spanish program, we would have clients who would come in who spoke Spanish only, and of course I don't speak Spanish. And so it was very difficult for me to communicate with them, to find out what their needs were, to be able to meet those needs. And so at one point I did pull up Google Translate on the computer and tried to communicate with one of our clients that way. And it was actually quite funny because it doesn't translate very well. And but we were able to schedule some things for her and get some things taken care of. But it was a very difficult process and took much longer than we anticipated. Having the Spanish program, they can come in and get the help they need immediately without having to go through all these hoops of me not speaking Spanish or our counselor not speaking Spanish and not knowing how to help them. It just broke my heart sometimes to see some come in and I had no idea what to do. And so with this new program, it has made us able to hire an interpreter to be able to counsel clients and to be able to offer things at our baby store to the Hispanic community as well.
Definitely. They answered my questions, all of them. They weren't just throwing out, this is what this study says, this is what this study says. They were explaining to me why things were the way they were.
Yeah, it's more when you have a question, it's more like down to earth, common, not afraid to ask, compared to being thrown into a giant classroom full of people and everybody's either the high class, the low class, or just don't care attitude.
Well, I just want to say that I'm very thankful for the help I'm getting from there, and I think I'm lucky to be available to go and get help from them.
Oh my gosh, watching him grow up is so sweet. Every day, new milestones, seeing the first time he took a couple steps by himself. He face planted, but it was the highlight of my day. The first time he said mama. All those firsts, you didn't get to experience your own firsts. You don't remember that, but you remember your kids' firsts. And that is just the best experience ever.
I love what I do because I have a heart for just seeing people make positive decisions in their life. Knowing that having a friend that's not going to judge you and can walk beside you can make a world of difference. And seeing that person grow from the day they walk in afraid to being confident that they can be a good mom, a good parent, it's amazing.